Judy Batalion, The Light of Days, the untold story of women resistance fighters in Hitler's ghettos. Step into the heart-wrenching yet inspiring world of The Light of Days, the untold story of women resistance fighters in Hitler's ghettos by Judy Batalion. This book unveils the extraordinary efforts of Polish Jewish women who fought against the Nazi regime. Delve into thought-provoking stories of young girls forging a rebellion as they combat the darkness of the Holocaust with courage and bravery. Discover how organizations like the Young Guard and Freedom nurtured resilience in Jewish youth and provided a network for vital connections. Witness the harrowing tales of survival, grit, and unyielding determination to fight a battle against all odds.
The Jewish Youth Movement in 1930s Poland. Renia, a 14-year-old Jewish girl in Poland, aspired to join the Freedom youth organization her older sisters belonged to. Youth groups helped instill a sense of belonging and self-esteem in Jewish children growing up in a time of growing anti-Semitism and instability in Europe. Youth movements such as the Young Guard and Freedom, affiliated with Poland's Labor Zionist Party, published their own newspapers that helped keep people connected. Renia's sister Sarah was a devout labor Zionist and traveled the country fighting for social equality and organizing camps for kids. These youth organizations had no way of knowing the skills and connections they developed would be put to a different use in the years ahead. A family struggled during World War II. In September 1939, Germany invaded Poland and Renia's family was forced to flee to Chmielnik. The town was already decimated by air raids, and despite having relatives there, it was clear they were still in harm's way. The Kikilkas took shelter in an attic, witnessed a single Jewish boy's bravery, and survived the initial invasion. They soon found themselves in the Jedrzejów ghetto with many other Jewish families. Leaders like Zivia Lubetkin and Frumka Plotnicka returned to Poland to help support the Jewish population and set up classrooms for kids. Despite the postal system still working and walls not yet being built, no one could predict the horrors that were to come. Resistance and survival in the ghettos. In the ghettos, survival seemed impossible with constant rule changes, walls, and restrictions. The Judenrat, meant to represent Jews' interests, was powerless against the Nazis, requiring passes to leave. Women were often safer during illegal travel since they could pass as Aryan, with some men even getting circumcisions reversed. Women had advantages of better education, carrying bags without suspicion, and disarming Gestapo officers. The Kashariat or primary couriers for the underground Jewish resistance were mostly women, organizing groups and establishing networks. The Freedom movement strengthened their network and established groups of fives throughout Poland. Renia's sister was at a kibbutz when the invasion began, and Renia would set out, hoping to reunite with her sister using her instincts and looks. Renia's escape. Renia, a Jewish girl from Warsaw, Poland, during World War II, escapes the ghetto where her family is suffering from typhus and terror. She leaves behind her parents to find work and survive after the Nazis come with a long list of names of people to take away. Renia disguises herself as a Polish peasant girl and goes to a Jewish labor camp, where she is told she has to run because her name is on the list. She runs into the forest with a friend, but he is shot, so she continues to run and finally finds a village with a train station. On the way, she finds a woman's purse with a passport and money that will help her along her journey. A sister's escape. After obtaining a fake identity and leaving her hometown, Renia finds herself on a train where she is recognized as a Jew. She jumps off the train and eventually lands a job as a housekeeper for a half-German family. This job allows her to write to her sister Sarah, who is alive, and together they plan to reunite. However, Renia receives the last letter from her parents who were saying their goodbyes as they were living in squalor, hiding with other desperate people. This was the moment when Renia's heart turned to stone and the fire of resistance began to burn inside her. The rise of resistance. Renia's arrival in Bedzin marked the growth of the spirit of resistance against the Nazi occupation. After the first action in the Warsaw Ghetto, the Jewish youth organizations decided to fight back, and the ZOB militia was born. Smuggling guns and hand grenades to the ghetto became a priority and was later done by fearless Kashariot like Toja Altman and Frumka Plotnica. While debates about launching a large-scale attack or suicide missions raged on, the actions kept coming. Hella Schupper smuggled in weapons, and members began leaving the ghetto to target and kill Nazi officers in town. Collaboration between the ZOB and the Polish Communist Party led to a successful Christmas surprise in December 1942. The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. As the ZOB in Krakow became successful, the Warsaw branch grew and began to retaliate anyone harming Jews. They assassinated 2 militia and council leaders, leading to the First Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. Meanwhile, Renia became a Kashariot for the ZOB, smuggling weapons from Warsaw. Renia carried grenades and Molotov cocktails in her bags but had to use her wit to get past Nazis during her return trip. The uprising began on January 18, with captures and retaliations, leading to a renewed sense of hope in Warsaw in 1943. Warsaw's Uprising Heroes. On Hitler's birthday, the ZOB in Warsaw launched a surprise attack on the Nazi army, kicking off a drawn-out battle that left many dead. This book tells the story of the campaign, focusing on 2 female fighters, Zivia Lebetkin and Nyota Teitelbaum, who played instrumental roles in the resistance. April 20, 1943, was a pivotal day in the Nazi campaign to wipe out the Jewish population in Poland. For the ZOB, the Jewish resistance movement in Warsaw, it was also a day of reckoning. The Nazis had invaded the ghetto, but the ZOB had weapons and a plan. Smuggled guns and homemade explosives were deployed to devastating effect, culminating in the detonation of bombs beneath the street that killed many Nazis in the ensuing chaos. Despite this early victory, the ZOB were forced into a drawn-out campaign that lasted several weeks. The Nazis burned everything in their path, pushing the resistance into underground bunkers and killing scores of fighters in ZOB headquarters. Zivia Lebetkin, one of the leaders of the ZOB, escaped death by a twist of fate. She led the effort to escape the ghetto through the sewers, a harrowing experience that involved crawling through foul water for more than a day. Nyota Teitelbaum, a member of the Spartacus communist group, was another key figure in the resistance. She earned a reputation as a deadly assassin, killing high-ranking Nazis in their offices and hospitals. Her braids were part of her disguise, earning her the nickname Little Wanda. The book tells the story of the Warsaw Uprising through the eyes of these 2 remarkable women and more than 100 other women who fought alongside them. It is a testament to their courage and determination, as well as a reminder of the horrors that can result from unchecked tyranny. The courage to fight back. The forests of Poland became a haven for the partisan fighters, but they were not always welcoming towards the Jewish resistance. Despite this, the FPO, led by Jewish fighters, managed to sabotage train lines and smuggle weapons and people. As the ghettos disappeared, the ZOB fighters and Kashariot went into hiding, always threatened by the possibility of blackmail or exposure. Renia was sent on a mission to Warsaw to get fake identification papers, but she returned to find that the Nazis had surrounded the ghetto in Bedzin. Frumka was killed, but Sarah was still alive and could be bribed to escape. Renia and Ilza obtained forged travel papers to help the 2 escape, but it turned out to be their tragic downfall. The remarkable escape of Renia. Renia and Ilza were caught and brought in for questioning on forged papers. Renia maintained her innocence, but they beat her and dragged her across the floor, convinced she was Jewish. Renia was taken to prison and received brutal treatment until a guard agreed to mail a letter for her. She received a response from her sister, Sarah, who planned to break her out of prison. Renia successfully escaped with Sarah's help, but Sarah stayed behind to help others cross the border. Renia made it out of Poland alive but never saw her sister again.
In The Light of Days, the incredible stories of Polish Jewish women are brought to light, illuminating the strength and resilience that burned within them during the Holocaust. The courage of these female resistance fighters defied the odds, demonstrating their unwavering commitment to defending their communities and supporting their fellow Jews. As members of clandestine youth organizations, they utilized their skills and connections to establish resistance networks, smuggle weapons, and sabotage the Nazi regime. A testament to the indomitable spirit of these women, The Light of Days demonstrates the power of unity, determination, and unwavering courage in the face of unspeakable atrocities.